Hey, this is WhyBeAre with BeamNG.drive, and today we're going to try to take a B25 Mitchell, damage its wing, and see if it'll fly with a damaged wing. Now, me being me, as always, we're going to go to leap of death for this just because I have all that room to fall trying to get the plane stabilized, and no other map really offers that unless you spend a long time getting the plane up and climbing and stuff. So that's why I always go to leap of death for these kinds of things. So let's go ahead and load the map up. So the procedure here is very similar to, well, just about any video I do with the B25 on Leap of Death. First we're going to take the truck, we're going to fling it off the cliff, and then we're going to just say goodbye truck. And we're going to take the camera and bring it up a little bit extra into the air, so that way the B25 has a chance to fly if it can after being damaged. So we'll go to here, go ahead and respawn the truck, and make it into a B25 Mitchell, like so, and make sure we can go ahead and fly from this position. So we'll go ahead and put it real automatic, and try pulling up while it's in drive, and no problem flying from there. So that is a perfectly fine spot, and you see we got a lot of distance below us to try to recover the plane after it's damaged. So that's all looking good here. So we're going to freeze physics and reset it once again, and we're going to fly it until it's stable, and once it's stable we'll put a block right in front of it with the map editor, and we'll see what happens to the wing if you put a block right in front of it, basically. So we're going to say that's looking stable to me, so freeze physics, go into the map editor with F11. By the way, I should probably mention, to freeze physics, you hit the J key on your keyboard, and now we can use any mesh we want to break the wing off. I myself am going to go to this menu over here, we're going to click Meshes, Levels, and I'm going to use one from Grid Map. So we're going to click, I think that says Grid Map, it's all half cut off. Art, Shapes, Miscellaneous, and then there should be one that's just a cube, a nice simple cube, there it is, GM Cube 1M, and that's the one we'll use for this. Then we're going to hold shift and hit C so we can move the camera around, and we're going to take the cube and place it in front of the wing. Now if you had a problem where the cube kind of just falls to the ground if you try to do this, there is a fix for that. Like, it just seems like it sinks all the way. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go up here on this menu, and you're going to hit this, and you're going to put that to off and that to off. If you do that, hopefully that's actually picked up in the recording. Sometimes menus aren't picked up, but if not, leave a comment and I'll explain it in text. But anyways, you want to turn off a certain setting, then the cube will actually float in the air like you're seeing right here. So then we're just going to put it like right in front of the wing, like so, and I don't want it too close where it'll actually damage it entirely, but I want it to be close enough where it'll at least damage the wing. We'll also make it a little bit taller to make sure I can't miss it, and we'll try using that. So we're going to go back into the game, and we're just going to unfreeze physics and see if it works. Perfect, it worked great. We lost the part of the wing, and now the question is, can we get it saved? And as of right now, the question is it looks like a no. I'm trying to get it to pull up, and I'm trying to get it to stabilize, but it just doesn't seem like it's going to happen. We are missing too much of the wing. So the next question is, what if we are missing both sides of the wing? See, I lag my voice like the game, because the game lags so hard from that crash. So we're going to try that instead. And you notice I freeze physics before I do anything. That's so I can get a consistent flight every time. Like, I make sure I'm holding the button down the second we spawn. So hopefully, if everything goes according to the way I think it should, we should fly to basically the same spot. Like that. See, it's pretty much the same spot. I should have hit slow-mo a little bit earlier so we could, there we go. I wanted to place it like that. So now we're going to go back into the map editor, and we're going to try to chop off both sides of the wings. All we're going to do is copy, paste, and then move it into place. Same kind of procedure as before. So let's see here, is that about, let's see if we can move it backwards a little bit, and over this way, and then forward now. How much wing is that going to take off? It looks like it's a little closer still, so we'll move it over just a bit and bring it in just a little bit more, and that looks like it'll chop off both wings about an equal amount. It's hard to tell, but it should be a good first try. Go back into the game. We're going to chop these wings off in slow-mo, even as a bonus, at least partially in slow-mo. That looks pretty close to symmetrical. It looks like this wing is there's a little piece right here that's still remaining, but it's close to symmetrical. Might be enough to fly it. Let's see. Oh, it's not enough lift. There's not. Wait, hold on. Come on, go left. Ooh, come on. It might stabilize out right here. We might be able to take this thing in. Come on. No way. Just going down. Accept my fate. Oh, what a mess of glitch. Alright, we're going to try this one more time, and I'm going to try to just ever so slightly move the plane a little bit to the left so it'll damage itself equally. You see that little jitter in the wings? That's all I did. Just a tiny click to hopefully make this an equal crash on both sides. So here's the first side, here's the second side. That is about equal. Like that's as close as I think you can get. Oh, that is perfect actually. Like you see a little bit of like residue of the plane, I guess you could say, kind of hanging along. But I kind of got it where it looks like it's equal, and I'm trying to control it, but it still feels like it just wants to go into a spiral, unfortunately, which is too bad. So really, you can't fly it when the wings are actually torn off. But what if they're bent? That's another possibility, isn't it? So we could try bending the wings. But doing that will require a different procedure, so we'll worry about doing that later. I want to do a couple more things doing it like this. One of which is, what if we put the pillar right in front of the plane? Which I could try to fly into it, but I don't trust myself to do that. I can trust myself to use the map editor to put it right in front of me, though. Make sure it's in slow-mo beforehand so we can get to see the parts falling apart, like in a beautiful manner, instead of just getting a lag spike. So we're going to the map editor, and we're just going to move it right in front of the plane. And actually, we can move them both at the same time. That way, I don't know why I just did that, but I thought there might be some benefit later on, but probably not, considering I'm not going to use this setup anymore after this. But we can go ahead and do that, and looks like we're flying a little bit higher than before. Huh. Either way, we could just set it right in front of the plane. It's kind of awkward to do this because it's based on a grid. My plane's not exactly aligned with the grid, but that looks pretty good. So now we're just going to watch the plane smash right into that. And this is this is going to be funny because I think the wings will just kind of keep going while the center of the plane will just kind of stop. Okay, the front just disappears. Ah. Oh, I hit the blades of it so they stop spinning. But the wing on the right looks totally fine. Like it looks like it's totally undamaged and it's going to keep going. The rest of the plane, not so much. So the next thing though is to try to fly with damaged wings, which does require a different kind of setup, and I'm not sure if Leap of Death is really ideal for doing this kind of setup, so I think we'll go ahead and change maps. Unless, well, there's one more thing we could do. We could try to damage just the rear, which is, well, gonna be difficult, but I think with the right setup it can be done. So we're gonna try to set that up. So first thing we gotta do is we gotta find a point where we would hit just the rear part of the plane. And how I would do that would be like this. So we'll stop it right here. And we're going to try to put it where we hit right here and that's it. And hopefully it'll work. So we're going to move this up, over, and to, like, right in front of that part of the plane. Maybe we'll only hit one, I don't know. Because they're kind of not aligned anymore for that. So we'll have to separate them out and move it separate. See, it's a little janky trying to get it lined up, but if I do get it lined up just right, we should be able to hit just that rear. Like, I know somebody's going to be yelling at me what the proper name is, and I could look it up, but I didn't before the video, so I can't say the proper name. But I mean, this part of the plane wing right there. Little part of the wing that's that points up. I don't know what it's called. Like I can throw out a name, but I'm not sure if it's right, so I don't feel like saying it because people will be more likely to complain if I get it wrong than if I just stay quiet. So that's why I'm staying quiet. And we don't want to totally just blow up that part, so we just want to clip it. So we're gonna bring these both up, and that'll be how we set it up. So let's try that out. Perfect. Okay, can we still fly like this? Oh no, we're going into a spin. Oh, and now the wing is bent. I saw it bend from all the force of the maneuver we were just doing. You're just gonna go into a spin, see that? So that's not gonna work. That worked beautifully though, the pieces came right off. I wanna try that one more time because it works so nice. I don't know if it'll work again, like that's so perfectly precise. I don't know if that can be twice. Alright, be twice. No, look, we're too close. See, oh. See, that's why I had to place them. It was a one-shot thing because where I placed them, it hits just the back wings the first try only. Otherwise, you're going to hit the front of the plane. That's not what we wanted to do. So that's trying just to remove like little bits and pieces of the plane and seeing if it'll still fly. Mostly though, it appears if you're missing a part of the plane, you're going to have a bad time. We could try really just tapping just the very tips of the wings though. That's the one final thing I want to try. And the reason I reset things multiple times like this is just because I want to make sure I get a perfect start on it. So like right there, I wanted to make sure it was a perfect start to make sure I get right in that area. And we're going to get just the edges of the wings as like little as we possibly can. In fact, it might even miss, but I want to make sure it's just the edges. We're going slow-mo. That way when it does hit, I can see what's actually happening. I'll bring this back. I so kind of wish though that the plane would fly straight off the, like right from the start. That way it would be even easier to line these things up. So just as little as we possibly can. We're going to make it as so close to hitting already to make sure it's just barely tapping that. We're going to do the same for the other side. And just barely touching it. Whoa, that was a camera illusion right there. It looked a lot closer than it was. Camera just messed with my mind. I think it's because it's lower than the other one. That's what it was. Alright, we want it to just touch it. Like that is just so gently touching it like that. We'll see how that one works and we can adjust them afterwards depending on what happens. Okay. Go ahead and become the plane and unfreeze physics. Just touch it. Just like that. That's pretty much as little as we could possibly lose, I think. Like, I don't think you could really touch it any gentler than that. Will it fly like this? This is its best chance of flying with missing parts. It's not totally spiraling out of death, but I am pulling it. I'm pulling left to make sure it doesn't spiral to the ground. I don't have control over it. I can just kind of make it fly stably. Like right here, we gotta go to the right, otherwise we're gonna hit a cliff. Oh, there's a chance of this working, actually. Oh, I want to try that one again. There's a high possibility of this actually being a viable method of flight. Now, there is a real high likelihood that this just won't work. Like, I'm pretty sure it might not. Like, even though I'm flying it exactly the same by just going full throttle from the very start, there is just a small chance it might not be exactly the same flight pattern, and there's not much I can do about that, because it might be like I let up on the analog stick just tiny bit, and it makes the difference. Or the analog trigger, I should say. So let's see, that side, the right side looks good, left side, oh, left side. You can see sparks right here from where it hit it. There's sparks right there, it hit it, but the wing held up. Alright, well, let's see if we can take this thing down. Oh, goodness. Okay, it's always a bad thing when the plane's not symmetrical. I think the other way was probably a bit better because it's not symmetrical, and it's hard to know what to do when the plane's damaged like this. Like, trying to figure out what your best bet to survive is just hard to know. Like, obviously we can't fly upwards, I can tell you that now, so somehow I gotta try to land this thing, but there's no real well, runway of sorts. Like, I'm looking around, there's nothing to really land on. We can kind of fly it, like, I can get it to be stable and do a slow descent, but I don't know where to go with that slow descent. You can see though, I'm holding like to go up basically to keep it level. You can tell by looking at these back part, like the parts of the planes here and here. You see they are pushing to be going to the left and up just to keep this thing stable. And I'm trying just to see how I could maybe go something like this where I kind of scrape it along the wall. There we go. That's actually pretty gentle. I mean, since there's no runway or anything. Oh, now we're falling, though. I was hoping it would kind of hold there, but it was a little steeper than I thought it was. But the idea was to get it on the wall and kind of hold it there like a spider. It didn't hold, but it did scrape along the wall and come to mostly a complete stop without any significant damage. Like, compared to right now, at least. It still looked like a plane. Now it, well, doesn't really. So the next test I want to do, need to go to a different map, though, because we need to damage the wings prior to takeoff, because you can't just smack it with the blocks at high speeds, because the blocks just break the wings off. So I'm letting this plane fall before we change maps, and that's why I'm telling you kind of what we're doing now. But it's fallen to the center of Leap of Death, so now it's time to go on to a new map. And no, I don't want to save those. My luck, I'll manage to hit them somehow when I don't want it, and that'd be terrible. We're just going to go to Grid Small Pure, because we need a nice big open area for this one. And nothing's more big open than Grinspall up here. Alright, so I'm actually not exactly sure if what I'm going to do is going to work out, but we're going to try it anyways just to see. I want to bend the wings without breaking, but the wings seem like they like to break before they bend, so what we need to do is we need to drop something on the wings from a distance and see if that'll bend them but not break them. Or we could try another option, just putting the truck inside the wing and then kind of using the weight of the truck to bend it down. Actually, that might work. You see that wing is bending down, well, that one's pretty much flat looking. I believe somebody said once that their actually wings are tilted upwards slightly. And I don't know if that's a permanent bend or if that's just like I'm about to break kind of bend. That's the hard part. It's real difficult to know what kind of bend that was. So let's go and move the truck over here and let's look at the wings. Do they look bent at all? Not really, huh? You could try dropping the truck on it, but I'm pretty sure that'll bust the wing up. Oh, yep. Oh, well. You saw it kind of was at its breaking point, so you could go boom and then stop. And we can freeze physics and move the truck out of the way. And look at the wing. That was like bending right before it broke. Can you bend the wing? Doesn't appear to really bend well. It seems like instead of bending, it's more likely to break, although it might have a little bit of bend to it. It's hard to tell. We'll go ahead and just try to bend both the wings just like how you saw, and then we'll try a test run like that and see what happens. So something like that. That wing might actually be broken. No, that one, ooh. That one got so bent, I think the blade of the... Well, let's see. Hold on. Oh, it's okay. It looked like I might have damaged the blades on that thing because it bent so hard it kind of hit the ground. So if the wings are bent, it's a very minimal amount. It looks like there's definitely a little bit of damage on the right side. Left side looks okay, so we're going to try to just take off and see. Flight with bent wings. Okay, the plane is definitely pulling to the left. So there is some difference in the way the wings are. Like you could tell, one wing is generating more lift than the other because you see it's tilting all on its own. I'm not doing anything to correct it, and you see it's tilting, so I have to correct it. Otherwise, it will tilt over. But with just damage, as long as the wing is there, pretty much, it seems like you'll be okay to fly. The problems arise when the wing is gone. And I don't know of a good way, unfortunately, to really, make it where the wings are damaged without totally tearing them off. And I was hitting the wrong key there. I was trying to pull up the J-beam so you could see maybe if it's, a visible difference in the J-beam structure as well, but it's hard to tell if there is any. I mean, the nodes, I don't know if you could have got anything. Oh, there, that's actually interesting to note. There are some broken nodes, which means the wings are definitely damaged. And I think one might be more damaged than the other. That might be the thing. They're both damaged, just one's worse than the other. So that's interesting. I think we'll go ahead and try to land this thing now. Take it down. And that'll probably be the end of this video. Unless I could think of anything else to do. But right now, that's kind of like all the tests I could think of for trying to fly a damaged B25. Why am I not in... I need to slow way down if I'm going to come to a landing. I don't have as much lift as I thought I did. I was going to... Oh, shoot. See, it's hard to know where the ground is. Like right before we crashed, I'm like, wait a minute, we're going to hit the ground now. I thought I was still like a few hundred feet from the ground when we hit it. Those grids are deceptive, man. So yeah, that'll probably be it. We could try doing this one more time. How about that? One more time. Ow. Truck missed. He's like, oh, I missed the wing. Yeah, you did. Actually, I got another idea that could work for this. What if we just put on a high gravity and then put it back to normal, then try to take off? That might bend them symmetrically, but it still might be interesting to see it bend like that. Ah, don't you hate it when the game crashes? So I'll have to go back in the grid map and we'll go ahead and try this, what I was saying one more time. Alright, so I think I said what the plan was, but the plan is to go and change the environment to be high gravity and then low gravity and then try to fly with it after the high gravity damages the wings. So we're going to go and get the Mitchell, try Jupiter gravity for example, and see if we can get some bend to those wings. It looked pretty good right now. We'll put it as a broken only on the J-beams to try to see it. Try negative 50 maybe. Not quite enough. How about negative 80? Oh, that's a little too much. And the landing gear broke too. So that's actually something I probably should take into consideration. What I should do is stuck in the landing gear, then do that. So that way, hopefully the landing gear doesn't break. And I guess negative 80 is a bit too much. Well, at least when the landing gear's out. Negative 70. The left wing braked and the right wing didn't. Huh. Negative 80. Negative 100. Why is only the left wing braking? The right wing is still totally fine. It has to be like it was just the way the wing was bouncing when I hit the number, I guess. Okay, 550. It just breaks the left wing more. As long as the wing's on, I don't care. 175. There we go. They're both broken. Earth gravity. Now, if everything goes according to plan, we should be able to still pull the wheels out. Should be able to like push up out. Look at that. So both of these wings are pretty much as broken as I think you can get them without them falling off. I don't think you can get them much more broken and still have some function in them. So let's go and see if we can fly this. Just like any other plane. Like, this should be pretty similar to the last test we did, actually. I was wondering if we could break them more, but it seems like if we did much more than that, I'm pretty sure the wings would just fall off, so we can't really do more than that. Alright, can we get lift up? No problems. Yep, I stick to my conclusion. As long as the wings are there, you're fine. If the wings fall off or just disappear, that's when you get screwed, and you have no hope. And I'm surprised the whole tail section didn't get any damage from that kind of gravity. It does seem like it's flying a little bit weird. Like, I guess it's just not generating quite as much lift as it normally would, I guess. But it still flies. You just have to fly it a little different. So that'll do it for the B25 for sure now. And until next time, this is WhyBeAre. Let's go ahead and dive this, and I'll see you next time.